So society loves to tell women that a fresh start is this beautiful, clean, blank slate.
Right.
But I mean, nobody mentions that you usually only get that blank slate because your previous life basically just burned to the ground.
Yeah, exactly. Whether that's, from heartbreak, a sudden career loss, maybe financial hardship, or a divorce.
Or just waking up and realizing the life you built doesn't even feel like your own anymore.
Walking into the aftermath of those massive life shifts is, well, it's terrifying. So, welcome to today's deep dive. We are unpacking a really powerful piece by Ori Karim. It's called Confidence Tips for Women Starting Over, and we're looking at how to navigate that exact terrifying moment.
And her core premise completely reframes the goal for you. This isn't about like bouncing back. It's about realizing you are, in her words, reinvented, not ruined.
Reinvented. I love that. Because the hardest hurdle Kareem targets first is the shame of starting over.
Oh, absolutely. There's this incredibly toxic, unspoken rule that by a certain stage in life, you should just, have it all figured out.
Which inevitably traps you into comparing your very messy beginning to someone else's polished middle. Kareem really dismantles that by arguing that starting over does not mean you failed. It simply means you survived something that fundamentally changed you.
We treat starting over like erasing a chalkboard. But it's actually way more like starting a new level in a video game. You don't lose the experience points you gathered in the previous levels. You're entering this new stage armed with experience, wisdom, and honestly just the sheer grit of survival.
Right, but knowing you have those leveled up skills doesn't make it any less paralyzing to actually use them, especially when your confidence is just shattered.
Yeah, that's the tricky part.
And that's exactly where Kareem introduces the strategy of micro habits. She focuses on tiny, tiny actions. Things like updating a resume, cleaning your physical space, or saying no to a really minor request.
Okay, I get updating a resume, right? That makes sense. But she also puts, like, drinking a glass of water and resting without apologizing on that list.
She does.
Wait, so just drinking water or resting build confidence?
Yeah.
I struggle to see how taking a nap magically fixes things.
I mean, I get that. It sounds totally disconnected until you look at how Kareem redefines confidence itself. Society tells us confidence means being loud, fearless, executing perfectly.
Right, the girl boss energy.
Exactly. But when you're healing, measuring yourself against that standard is actively harmful. Kareem argues that confidence is simply trust.
Oh, wow. Trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time you do something small to care for your basic needs, like hydrating or just resting, you are proving to yourself that you can be trusted to protect your own well-being.
So you're basically building a track record. Every repetitive, tiny action is a micro deposit into your self-trust account.
Precisely. But to make those deposits, you have to aggressively cut off the internal and external noise that drained your account in the first place. Kareem calls this internal grace.
Internal grace. You know that feeling when you're staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m., agonizing over some embarrassment from 3 years ago?
Oh, everyone knows that feeling.
Right. And everyone else has already forgotten it. Kareem points out that you simply cannot build a peaceful future while constantly using your past as a weapon against yourself. You have to actively give yourself permission to outgrow the version of you that made those mistakes.
And that internal grace has to be matched with external boundaries. She talks about protecting your environment mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and digitally.
Digitally is a big one.
Huge. Because every time you mute a toxic social media account or just walk away from a draining conversation, you are sending a real neurological signal to your brain that your peace is actually worth defending.
The hardest part about this for me isn't the internal stuff, though. It's the external pushback. The second you change the rules and set boundaries, the people who are used to the old you get incredibly frustrated.
Oh, they push back hard.
They really do. They want explanations for why you aren't perfectly accommodating anymore.
Well, Kareem has a striking, very definitive answer to that exact friction. She says, stop spending time explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you.
Wow. Stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you.
Yeah. Their frustration is not your responsibility to manage while you are trying to heal.
That is a massive shift in perspective. So, to bring all this together for you listening, you are starting over without starting empty. Real confidence isn't pretending you were never hurt. It's stepping into the mess and choosing to rebuild anyway.
Exactly. You are not starting from nothing. You're starting from lessons learned the hard way.
You are stepping into this new chapter already equipped with everything it took to survive the last one. So here is a thought for you to carry into your day. What is one lesson learned the hard way from your past that is actually your greatest secret weapon for your next level tomorrow?